Hmm. Well, I did a funny thing. Who's back? I had the stream going and everything, and I clicked stop stream. And the people who were here got booted out. So we'll see if people join again. Drop a line if you're here. Yo, Sean. What's up, man? I don't know if you were on before and got booted off, but I fat fingered and streamed. Classic. I was just starting to tell people that I was learning the whole new language of streaming, and then I ended the stream. So, yeah, I'm gonna get started, and people will join if they can join, as they want to join. Yeah. So yeah, for anybody who's tuning in, I don't know if you made your way back, but for anybody who's tuning in, I am just going to give a short intro. I don't know, for the first month or two that I'm doing this and letting people know why I'm doing this. But I really just started to feel after some time, yeah, sweet, man. Oh yeah, congrats on your move to Texas. Hope you're getting nicely acquainted there. Yeah, streaming has become, it wasn't really on my bingo card that I was gonna start streaming, and then all of a sudden, here I am. It really wasn't at all. I thought that I was just gonna stay in Instagram content and maybe occasionally filming some YouTube videos, but something, hey Sophia, something just started to call me, really in the spirit of trying to create new experiences to connect with community and do it in a novel and interesting way that's also fun for me and doesn't involve like the workshop vibe. And by the workshop vibe, I mean, you know, going in with some sort of structured, ticketed type of entry, paid or unpaid, but just a way to hang out and people can drop in and say, hey. Yeah, Sylvia, I literally right as I was saying that streaming is a whole new language for me, and I'm like learning it in real time. I literally fat fingered and stream. So I was like, well, there you go. Hopefully you just got that out of the way so that doesn't ever happen again. So thanks for coming back and finding your way back. But, you know, there are a handful of things that I want to do on the stream. I want to bring in guests and friends and fellow facilitators and just to talk about things, talk about the world, talk about this journey, this path of inner work, have fun doing it in almost like a, great, thanks for the encouragement, doing it in a setting that feels a little bit more laid back, because I feel like I'm always just having really deep conversations with close friends, and would like to share some more of that, and in a way that allows for me and others to connect more with community, known and unknown. And I also have the gift of having worked really deeply with this system called the Gene Keys that creates this interesting opportunity for me to welcome people who want to come and hop on live with me and just talk about chart, just explore things that are going on in their life to a level of depth that's insightful, and see where it goes on a week-by-week basis. So, Sylvia, I know that you wrote in and wanted to join me and take a look at your chart, and so I have yours pulled up, and we'll get to it in just a moment. So thanks for doing that. The keys are really, they're fun for me. It's like it's kind of like a game for me in a way. It's like a game of the way that I personally navigate through and perceive life, my own first and foremost. And of course I teach and I facilitate and share and support people through this work. But it is some of my favorite times of looking at the keys are like going out to dinner with new friends and having them, be curious and us just taking a look together. And sometimes it can actually just open up a whole wormhole that the person was not anticipating whatsoever. And, sometimes you'll see these words on these charts, and depending upon the context of what's happening in your life and the way that your consciousness links into seeing these things reflected back can just detonate something, and you never know. Other times it can just go right over somebody's head, and like I said, sometimes it can just penetrate right to the core of something, almost like their whole life was leading them to that moment to just see that word or have that new frame of how they understand themselves. So I love it. It's I love sharing in it, and I love this new opportunity in streaming to be able to welcome people into it. And so, there is the space here of me welcoming people on one-on-one, but for anybody who's been around circles or settings of transformative inner work, they will rather quickly come to know that even when they are not the one that's in the spotlight, there's always seemingly some powerful insights or things that mirror back to you by witnessing somebody else explore what's up for them in their own life. And so goes the game, so goes the journey in this perfection of how people come together, weave together, and are able to find community and shared experience and themes to what we're moving through, even if we weren't necessarily expecting it. And I find that that's some of the greatest magic that I've personally experienced is I know what I'm sitting with, but then when I hear somebody else share something where there's just a thread of a theme that just cuts right into something that I'm navigating through, and it opens up a doorway for me. It's wow, what a gift. What a gift to just witness that design come together. And thank you to that person for being vulnerable and having the courage to kind of be there and share and open in that way that allowed for me to find a key about myself as well. And so right before we dive in, I just wanted to give a little talk about, I wrote a letter this morning, and I shared in that letter that I got a chiropractor adjustment yesterday, and my new chiropractor, who is really amazing. It's beyond structural. It's energetic. She really holds it in a beautiful way. And she was saying that with one of these adjustments that she did, she was don't be surprised if you feel a a profound state of despondence over the next 48 hours. And despondence was a word that I hadn't really like heard or connected with in a while. And when I was like looking it up, I knew it was kind of like a quality of despair, but when you look it up, it's like complete and utter hopelessness, like a sensation that nothing will ever get better. And I was like, oh, nice. And she was just like, yeah, it's just this adjustment can really open up these floodgates of things starting to move and flow through. And it's just like old gunk, and I like to tell people this because sometimes if you're moving through it, it's nice to have that reminder of like, oh, like that's what's happening here. So maybe I can, sit with it a little bit more easily. And it's not like I'm getting bulldozed anyway right now, but yeah, I just had like a funny moment writing about that because I laugh when I hear something like that, because there have just been so many times along this journey where I have interfaced with that level and that layer of complete and utter hopelessness, complete and utter just like despair. And it's rough, and anybody who is on this journey knows that. And I find that it's like maybe it's not so often even spoken about, because sometimes we can get taken to that space and it can feel so raw, so deep, so existential, that even to just go and share and bring somebody else into that, it's like, where do I begin? And I think it's by design to take us into a little bit of that space of that hopelessness on our own, so we can find our way back to ourselves. And over time, as I wrote in this letter, without any sense of like perfection, but it is a muscle that I've grown into and continue to grow into and continue to get checked on in ways that I don't hold this, is I find that the window between touching into that despair and then touching into like the levity and the surrender, the trust, the laughter even about what's there, continues to shorten. Say it'd maybe take me like a week or, even more, and it's still not so linear, but it's like I find myself where that cycle completes. There's a condensing of that cycle of tapping into the despair and my ability to move into a space of deeper trust, deeper surrender, deeper openness, and maybe perhaps even levity. And that is not a mental endeavor. That is a forged result of the process of showing up again and again to that state with presence and with care. And of course, as we need it, support from people in our lives or professionals. And so, yeah, shout out to anybody who's navigating through any layers or levels of all of that, because it's so real. And our society hasn't come into a level of normalcy in creating structures of language to help us find our way through that without seemingly some significant effort. And so, yeah, that's just what I wanted to share to start off tonight. So, Sylvia, if you're ready, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a link. Give me one moment. You're going to get a link in your email. And whenever you're ready, you can click and you'll join and you'll come on here with me. if you caught my newsletter, you caught my Daddy Yankee joke calling despondence despondito. I thought that was rich. The little utter hopelessness. The cute little state of total despair. The sweet little sensation that nothing's ever going to get better. I don't know. I find that that's more how I feel like I try to relate with it these days, because what else is is there to do? Let's see here. Oh, Sylvia, you should have gotten it. Despondito made my day. Thank you so much, Sean. Sometimes I just wonder whether I'm just in my own universe with these punchlines that come in, and I'm like, I feel a little insane. I'm pretty sure I sent you the email, Sylvia. It was like hi dash something at something, I think was the email address. Oh, hello at Despondito. That's gonna be my first single when I come out with my album. I'm gonna have Eric record it. Still nothing? Huh. Here, so strange. Sylvia, I'm gonna send you on Instagram, I'm gonna send you a DM. Just check your DM, you'll have a link. Try that. Who else is here? Sylvia, how'd that work? No, I said I sent you a DM on Instagram. Oh, you sent me an email. Hold on. Stand by, everybody. You know, the beauty is that hopefully after doing this for like a month, I just emailed you the link. Hopefully after doing this for like a month, somebody's gonna come over and be like, here's how you're gonna be able to do this 30 times more smoothly. Shout out Daddy Yankee, friend of the stream. You just need Chrome as a browser. It's unable to connect the studio. That's so strange. I had no issues last week when I did this. It should hopefully just be where you could pop on if you need a Chrome or an Edge browser. And if not, if it's just like not giving you the ability to join for some reason, I can obviously talk about things on your chart without. Oh, hey, we did it.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
We made it.
We did. I'm so sorry about that.
No problem. Look, it's just like part of the warm up journey. So you got booted off. I fat fingered end stream, and now we had to get on, and now we're here. So nice to meet you.
It's good to meet you too. I apologize. I'm actually in between coaching games, so I've got the whole coaching attire on, but I'm here for it.
Oh, that's right. You're coaching your daughter's basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. In between games, like a back-to-back, like
Yes.
doubleheader. Oh, wow.
They've got 2 games tonight, so we've got about an hour break. So I said, okay, I'm gonna jump on while I have that break. So.
And you're popping on to look at your Gene Keys chart. Amazing.
Absolutely.
You're gonna go in. You're gonna go into the second game. You're gonna be like, I got the plan. I got the plan.
Yeah.
I got the plan. We're gonna hit him with we're gonna hit him with truth.
With truth.
All right?
Yeah.
We're gonna hit him with truth. All right. We're gonna stop doubting ourselves.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right. Well, so is it Sylvie or Sylvia? Sylvia.
Actually, well, yeah, my birth name is Sylvie, and
Mm-hmm.
I go by both really, but really my birth name is Sylvie.
Okay.
And Sylvia is sort of my name of service. This is my service name. This is I don't even know how to explain it, but yeah. I like both. I go by both.
Okay, Sylvie. Well, Sylvie, I'm curious. Two quick questions. Have you ever looked at your keys before, or are you coming in this totally new? And then the second question is like, generally when I work with people, I just ask them to give me like a little snapshot of something that's like present, because the keys for your chart, it's a mirror to your subconscious, and so whenever you share, seemingly just like whatever anecdotal details about what's happening in your life,
Yeah.
there's often almost always something within your chart that is like speaking into that specific experience or dynamic or something that you're just like wrestling with that maybe you want some clarity on. So I welcome you really to share anything there. And obviously I could also just like take a look and share some things that I see off the top without knowing anything. But I want to welcome you to, put your voice into the space if there's something that you kind of want to direct it around in terms of something that's here for you right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. I mean, so the Gene Keys, it's fairly new. I have looked at it before. I have trouble understanding it.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot for me
Yeah.
to figure out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely it's not brand spanking new. That's for sure. I've never gotten a real like in-depth reading or anything like this, but I have kind of dabbled with it.
Yeah.
And I guess to answer the second question in terms of just like anything that is present, I mean, yeah, it's I believe I am currently I am walking up to the next crossing. And what I mean by that is like there is another threshold that I um, I'm coming up to and very motivated to cross, but just still sitting with certain pieces. And this is like more of like the destiny piece. It's sort of this
Hmm.
piece around like service, purpose, mission.
Yeah.
It's really around stepping like really fully out into something very unknown. There's a I'm wrestling a little bit with divine will versus personal will and ego will, and it's like,
Hmm.
okay, where's God, where's the divine taking me now? And
Yeah.
that's okay, I'm used to that. But
Yeah.
essentially, I think for me right now, it's just there's a lot that mm, I'm holding on to something that feels very true. And I'm
Hmm.
exploring whether this is specifically related to identity,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Or if this is just truly like the mission,
Hmm. Sure.
right? So
Yeah.
that's kind of it. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Well, I'll just riff a little bit and then,
Yeah.
if there are things that I start touching into that you're like, "Oh yeah," and you want to comment, like please at any time feel free to interrupt me. And can you see my screen all right if I'm like zooming in and around and
Yep.
everything? I'm going to do my
I
best to
do.
make it like super big for you cuz you're probably on your phone, right?
I am. I
Yeah,
am. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Well, this is great. I think you're actually the first mobile person to do this on,
Oh,
on the mobile phone. So that's cool because everybody else last time just they happened to be at a computer, which I'd like for this to be like mobile accessible.
yeah.
So so I'm gonna share something that's like a 50,000 foot view thing.
Hmm.
Whenever I see something like this, it's like it's more of like a generic theme to be aware of. And so when you look at your keys and you look at your chart, it's like you're looking at a self portrait in a way, and these
Hmm.
archetypal themes that exist through the threads everywhere in our life. And by the whole work with the gene keys, it's like bringing our conscious awareness to these qualities of ourselves so we can understand more deeply how like we move through the world, so we can come
Yeah.
into a deeper, more harmonious, ideally, relationship with that constitution. Yet it's not like definitive. The gene keys isn't like a system that's like here's who you are and that's all you are. Like
Yeah.
there's breathing room in all of that. But when you look around your chart, there is a predominance of you see where it says line 5 here in
Yeah.
your life's work, line 5, this position evolution, line 5, this space called culture, line 5, this
Hmm.
space called pearl, line 5, this space
Wow.
called
Okay.
attraction, line 5. And so these positions, like to just give you a highlight, life's work would be like kind of pinnacle sense of externalized identity in the world. Your evolution would be like how you grow and mutate and evolve and transform, but also how you help other people. So it can be like your medicine bag, like how you help other people to evolve. Your culture, how you relate with more society at large. It's kind of like you and the world, like the nature of your relationship with like the fractal family of the world, and
Hmm.
your lens through that. Your pearl, how you manifest prosperity in your life, and your attraction sphere that has kind of a dual lens into it can be most often taught in the lens of like intimacy and romance and how you operate in those relationships, but it's really a sign and a nod towards what's called your dharmic attractor field. And your
Hmm.
dharmic attractor field is essentially, if you can imagine, like a magnetic field that you emanate always in every moment throughout your life, that is attracting opportunities and relationships into your presence for you to meet those challenges, that alchemy that most rapidly accelerates the unfolding of your dharma. This is
Hmm.
most commonly witnessed in intimate and romantic relationships because they can be like the strongest and most powerful mirrors. But it doesn't have to be just limited to that, even though most people will look at this and see, that aspect there.
Yeah.
So, the spaces that I touch into, there's tremendous amount of identity in all of that and how someone, orients themselves to their relationship with the world. And line 5 is it's throat ruled, it's voice. It's based in your voice. And you see that it says these some of these words: fixer, power, society, power, and projection.
Yeah.
Line fives are often, comically enough, in my experience, the least likely person to show up to exploring their keys and their charts. And the reason for that I notice is like line fives have a quality to them that can be like moths to the flame. They can just move through the world where people are like, I don't know what it is. There's kind of an it factor on that person. I just want to kind of be around them. And so people aggregate to the line five because there's a deep they're looking to the line fives for like leadership. It's like their voice. It's their ability to
Yeah.
project power. You say when it says fixer, it's like line fives often have a real like practical sense of how to like move forward and kind of do something and like lead through an issue, which is why a lot of people will aggregate to line fives to try to find practical solutions to things that they're interfacing with. The shadow and the like hidden kind of thing that can happen with the line fives is because of that moths to the flame experience. Line fives can often build for themselves unconsciously or consciously a pedestal, because it's like if you're having all of these people kind of coming to you for advice and insight and support and direction, it's like it naturally can build this sense of like a self pedestalization. And deep down for the line five, it's like that creates a distance with people that in the deepest sense, like isn't actually wanted. But if it gives that line five person a sense of feeling good, feeling embraced, accepted, empowered, all of that, which is totally innocent and natural. And if there's like kind of a satiation and oversatiation of that, what can happen is that the line five can have sometimes a bit of a boundaries issue. It's like one of the deepest things for a line five to pay attention to is their boundaries around who they let into their inner circle.
Yeah.
Because if you let too many people into the inner circle, what's happening in that kind of pedestalization expression, that pedestalization motion, is like, take for example, somebody comes and is like, looks to you for advice or guidance or anything like that. And at some level, what they're doing is they are putting you on a pedestal of who and what you need to be for them.
Mm.
And that can feel good because it's like the person's coming to me and like, they're projecting this sense of authority and power. But because that isn't you, that pedestalized version isn't actually you, eventually the facade will shatter. And line fives can often interface. The underlying wound of the line five is guilt. And the way that I try to frame it is it's almost like every person who kind of comes in and is like entering that inner circle and is perhaps treating you in that way, it's almost like they have this invisible sort of like tether around your voice. And they're
Mm.
pulling in different directions of like who you need to be for this person and that person and that person and this person. And when the jig is up eventually, because again, they have projected this whatever idealized version of who you need to be for them that isn't actually you, that can cause all of this projection and guilt, blaming, and those sorts of things that entertain this quality of like, hey, you didn't live up to who I needed you to be for me, the guilt. And so then the line fives can get caught in the sense of like, well, I don't want to let all of these people down, yet they're depending upon me to be these versions of myself that I'm actually ultimately not. And so when I say the hardest, sometimes the line fives are the least likely to show up, is like the line fives, they become powerful teachers of the importance of stepping off the pedestal, which sometimes comes with like huge ego death, huge identity shattering of who
No.
you were to people that can sometimes in the ashes like end relationships and, jobs and positions and all of this stuff. And that shattering, can be difficult to go through, but it's part of the line five's deeper teaching in their life to really like peel back those false layers, to really just anchor into the power that comes from stepping off of anybody else's projected pedestal and embracing just like the raw vulnerability of who you are, untethered. I love that you're laughing and nodding because so so I'll shut up for a moment and see what you
No,
have to
no.
say.
It's no, I'm just saying it's bang on. No, no, thank you for sharing all of that. It's bang on to even the day and the moment.
Mm,
it's,
okay,
it's
great.
funny. It's funny. Yeah. And this is it's been a big part of my journey. 110% through, like, yeah, leaving organizations, leaving careers, oh my God. I mean, it's just been a massive, massive journey for 15 years, and even just stepping into the service work that I do now,
Hmm.
and even in that world of leaving particular circles, and just like, I mean, it's almost like, how can I say, it gets to the point where I really have to question if I'm either hiding from something and I'm using integrity as an excuse, or if it's like, no, my discernment is actually so sharp
Mm,
that I really, like, I just see where things are so out of integrity
mm,
in places that, you know, would would you would hope that there was a lot of integrity.
yeah.
And just,
Hmm.
and I just keep navigating out, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
when am I going to finally, it's like, well, either have to create it, or
Yeah.
or you know what I mean. It's like, yeah, and it's a very lonely path in that way, I think, is what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like a line five. You could look at a line five and be like, "Oh, that's like a super popular person. Everybody's around them." But the line five can actually feel really deeply alone in some ways because
Yeah.
it's like the number of people that actually know like the real you might be few and far between, which is
Yeah.
where part of that journey of starting to like step down off of those false pedestals may best begin by really getting clear on your boundaries of like who gets access to the inner sanctum and
Yeah.
who doesn't, like with such love. And some of those people that may not get access, might have been people who really like through and through have believed that they're just like they have the right to have that access. And
Mm.
that's like that can be again like part of that challenge, interfacing with the guilt, like the guilt of letting somebody down, the guilt of like not, you know satiating what someone else has needed you to be for them.
Yeah.
And so that's where when you see this word fixer, your life's work, it's like the line fives do have a deep power to really bring practical leadership and solution with their voice to like guide toward solving problems. But you can see that fixer can have a dark side to it if you are just fixing people's problems out of guilted obligation. And so, especially when I see, there's always a look that I'll give towards a predominance of a certain line in somebody's chart, that when there is one like that, it's like this is an important theme to consider and explore because of course, we could look at any of these individual keys and there's whole wormholes of insights around all of that. But that this is one layer that will like by working that will have broad sweeping impacts in your journey, your life, your sense of like how you relate with yourself and others.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And here's, to balance all of that line five energy that can be really outward, you have in your purpose and radiance, you have a line one. your radiance and your purpose represent the cornerstone of your inner universe. And line one is a deep journey of solitude, a deep journey of working through an experience of a sense of isolation and transmuting that into aloneness. Aloneness is full. Like aloneness is like I can be completely in the middle of the woods on my own, or I could be in a crowd of 70,000 people. And it doesn't matter. I just feel so full within my own universe. So much so that people will look to people who have a line one in their kind of like inner spaces, radiance, purpose as an anchor, as like someone like you just seem really solid. Like I could just like lean on you. Yeah. So
Oh boy.
yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think I've mastered the witch in the woods.
okay.
I've
Okay.
mastered that
Hmm.
part of being complete, like being totally okay with yeah, solitude. Just actually loving it, actually, really
Yeah.
almost to a fault. So it's
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like your wellspring because you have so many line fives, and line fives can be really like out there. It can because it's the voice. It's the voice is that channel where what's inside starts to emerge outward and vibrates and makes waves and influences. And so, okay, you have that power, you have those abilities, and how do you give yourself your proper hermit experience with these line ones to retreat, to understand, to get clear about as you get ready to go and merge back into the relationships and the world, like, okay, these relationships are not good for me, or this circumstance is like has too much access to my inner space and doesn't really feel harmonious to me. So I hope that that helps
yeah.
you find your way the game tonight. I don't know if any of that helps you with
Thank
the
you.
game tonight.
Like too many people. No,
Yeah.
it's great. Thank you. I really appreciate this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love what you're doing. So I'm definitely
Oh,
gonna tune in some
yeah.
more. But yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No, you're totally welcome, Sylvie. And one of the things that I told other people last stream is don't be shy to like drop your name in the form again. Like I will go on stream and I will just keep flowing through the people that I haven't gotten to yet. And, there are people here who filled out who are probably not here live. And I will invite them, whenever. If they show
Yeah.
up next stream or 20 streams from now, cool. But it's not a thing that it's like, oh, hey, you had your one and done and that's used up. Like, I'm really inviting this as a space where whoever's around and is on, come and bring it because everything that we just spoke about, it doesn't matter whether or not somebody has a predominance of line fives in their chart. Like that theme is universally important.
Yeah.
And so yeah, just thank you for coming and joining and sharing into a little bit of your world with us. And I hope that this opens up some insights for you and what you're facing right now in your life.
Absolutely. Lots of really good confirmations. So thank you. Thank you
Hmm.
very much for that. And yeah,
Yeah,
I will be for sure tuning in. So yeah,
amazing.
I love what you're doing. I love the live stream. I love the authenticity. And I don't want to use that like as a buzzword, but I really like
I appreciate it.
it
Yeah, I
feels
feel you.
very authentic and I love that. So
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you so
Awesome
much.
job.
What's the name of your you said your daughter? Your daughter's team?
Yeah. I
What's
have both
oh,
daughters right now playing for two different teams. So
what's their
Lex
mascot?
CBO. My God, what are we? I don't even think we have an actual mascot. Like
Oh,
we're
no
the
mascot.
no, wait. We're the Cavaliers.
Okay, the Cavaliers. Well, go
Yeah.
Cavs.
Go Cavs,
Go Cavs.
exactly.
Okay. Or
Yeah.
wait, are both your
Lex,
daughters they're playing against each other tonight?
no, one is they're 2 years apart, so one is in a lower like
Okay.
age group. But yeah, so Riella is the younger one and Lex and Dina is the older one, so
Got it.
16 and 14. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks for being a super mom and doing, I mean, honestly, like in between daughters, coaching daughters basketball game, like coming in and hitting the Gene Keys live stream. I mean, that's just like so That's so
Yeah.
legit.
Keeping it real.
Yeah,
Keeping it
keeping it
real.
real, keeping it real. Total super mom status. Yeah. Well, look, hold on. I gotta give you one thing before you go, okay?
Yeah.
This is I know that you're about to enter back into the stadium and get a lot of this, but this is for you, just for you right now. Okay.
Amazing.
All right.
Amazing. Thank you.
Take care, Sylvie.
Bye.
Bye now. Oh, how funny. Oh, that was good. How wild. This is why I want to do this, you know? Like you never know. You never know who's going to pop on and like what like it's so inspiring to just connect and see how here's someone who's just like in between doubleheader basketball games, just like in the rain, like checking out and coming into learning more about themselves. I mean, that's amazing. And my prayer with the stream is to continue to just create, you know, doorways and entry points for people to come on and share their story, a little snapshot of what they're navigating through, maybe learn something about themselves. I find so much to go back into the territory of talking about despondito, as I was talking about earlier. Despondence. I almost forgot the original word because despondito has started to take resonance and hold in my psyche as the truer word. But man, when we're interfacing with real deep challenge, real deep despair, there's nothing quite like hitching a ride, like surfing on the wave of somebody else's courage in their own life, in their own journey. Because when we're in those spaces of hopelessness and despair, it's almost like this big black shroud can kind of just come around us and shut out all of the light, and to just pierce through that dark veil and see like another person with their like little flashlight and candle, like just doing it, like there in the car in the rain, just like it's like, okay, I could do this. I can do this. Like we need that. We need those reflections. We need that connection. Matt Ruby. I feel like a Gene Keys peeping Tom. Peeping Gene. Hey buddy, are you still here? Yeah. We're peeping keys. We're peeping the keys. Sweet, man. Thanks for popping on. So good to see your name and your face. That red curtain behind you and your profile pic. I'm going with like the blue curtain here. How come nobody out there not used to live chats? Do I ask you to fix something? Yeah. Well, Matt, so you know, in the future, I'll send you an email if you haven't caught. Like, part of this stream is that people will go. There's a type form that I've created for people to, for people to fill out their birth details, where I'll pull up their chart and we just have a little jam. We just talk about some things. I don't know if you caught the recent, like the one with Sylvie there, but Sylvie is like, just like a mom who is coaching a doubleheader basketball game for her daughter. And it's like in the car, in the rain, in between the games, checking out her Gene Keys chart. It's just like amazing. So you fill out that type form, and then that way you're not spilling all of your birth details on the internet. And, I pull up your chart, I send you a link, you join me live, and yeah, man. I'm doing this every Tuesday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern as like an evening vibe, chill and hang, kind of like a decompress, talk about, things, the path, the journey. Sometimes, friends will join me. People like Karen, Jessica, like other facilitators will join me. Sometimes I'm inviting people to come on and we'll talk about their keys. So Tuesday nights and then Thursday mornings from 10 to 11 a.m. And the Thursday mornings I approach a little bit more in a teaching style. Like I come in with more of a focused topic, and the journey of that is actually I'm going through every week one by one of the shadows across the 64 keys. So we just did last Thursday. Karen joined me for a little bit and we explored the first key, the shadow of entropy. And so this Thursday we're going to explore the second key, shadow of dislocation. And if you look in the Gene Keys, you look at the back of the book, I think actually I have this. Yep, here we go. This is like all of the 64 keys, all of these different shadows. We all interface with these on a everyday basis. And there's a whole journey, how do we relate with arrogance, desire, selfishness, pride, addiction, chaos, struggle, weakness, exhaustion, dominance, seriousness, stress. So for the next 64 weeks, I'm just going to go one by one and, have different friends pop on with me. I think Jessica's going to join me on Thursday morning and we're going to explore dislocation. I think another friend is going to join too, and just kick it and see where it goes. I will also say that I don't want to lose the thread of when I was talking about the blue curtain. You would think that when the red curtain was starting to become so popular that somebody would have been out there saying, screw the red curtain, I'm going with the blue curtain. Like a rival, like a rival opera house. Our curtain is blue. Matt, when you open up your club, you can take that idea. Or maybe yours will be green or something. I don't know. I don't know what your favorite color is. Like, you think there would be more of that. You think that there'd be like, oh, that's the place with the purple curtain. Why is it always got to be red? You have big issues with the amount of purple LED lights taking over streaming videos elsewhere. Yeah, it's kind of like cyberpunk. It's the cyberpunk vibe. I mean, I try to go with, blues. If you look at everything with Flight School, dark green backdrop. Nice. Or like what if it was like a neon green? Like this, oh my god, this place is a neon green. Neon green curtain. Red is eye stopping. Red cars get pulled over more apparently. Higher priced insured. I mean, red is royal. Red is royal. Red is royal. Red also, red light makes people look the best. Somebody said that. I choose the blue because blue is my vibe. Neon green is brat. Yeah. It would get old after a while and be like, I hate that. I hate that neon green. Yeah. Yeah, Moroccan Vibe Red Room is good, you know. It's red. I mean, look at like in the evening and red light, and there's a relaxing quality. Red is also. I mean, if you think there's no coincidence with, stuff around like chakras, like red is root, and root also gets into like core scarcity, stability, sense of identity, like core fears, and especially in theater and stuff like that, like red can like touch into the deepest recesses of our like physical like fear matrix, which some part of us is fascinated by, because it's like the root and that density of that root base, like the last fears to let go exist in the root. It's like the deepest, the densest, our bones, our skeletal system. It's like the most, crystalline material quality of our existence. And so I imagine that red also, touches into some of that. It's kind of like looking at a train wreck. Like there's some sort of deep fascination of not wanting to miss it. And so many layers to it all. I think a blue curtain, I mean, I can see it, but it's a total different universe. I mean, watch this for a moment. Hopefully I can come back to the color. Oh, this is loading. I gotta re-download the app. But I can change. I have these RGB lights. I can change it. I was gonna set it to red tone, red vibe for a moment. It's funny because we're talking about red curtain and all of this, and my chiropractor yesterday, when I was talking about despondence here and all that, whether you caught my newsletter or caught what I was talking about earlier, she was like, you should connect with the color red a little bit more. Takes a rainbow or something like that. Got a jet. Oh, see you later, buddy. Thanks for popping in. I'll catch you next time. So let's see if I can. I see why people who do all of this get to a point where they're just like, I need somebody to come here and do all this for me. Oh no. I lost lost my, there we go. Who's here? Show yourself. Drop a hello in the chat. Anyways, I have no idea how to change these colors without losing my setting, and I dialed in this color and I don't really want to change it, so maybe next time I'll be coming in the red light. Okay, well, somebody's watching my stream. And it's also cool if you just want to sit and vibe and not say a single thing. Today, I taught the last full session of flight school. We have one more week, and I'm coming up here now to the end of a 6-month journey. Oh, hey, bro. Yeah, I just taught my final, what's called the runway series in flight school, where the flow of flight school is every month. We have classes on Tuesdays and Fridays, and Tuesdays are deep dives that are like more extended classes, 2 to 3 hours, and Fridays are shorter, like an hour to 90 minutes, that are more like guest sessions. And each month I teach back-to-back 3 weeks in a row on the first 3 Tuesdays of every month, and then the 4th Tuesday of each month, Karen teaches a series called the Navigation Series, where she comes in and just does a deep dive with people and just like really landing whatever's been there and been opened in that month. And so I taught, this was the 3rd week of the 6th month. And so yeah, taught that today. And Evacheska's going to teach this Friday one final class. She teaches a monthly series called the Executive Series. She goes to a whole deep space around her history as an executive, VP of marketing. She just bridges all of that with these new gifts of what she's learned across this path, and her as a facilitator and medicine woman. So she really teaches this whole series. It's around like embodying your highest, almost like your like divine CEO self. And she's incredible. I mean, she's also helping me personally outside of, the field of coming and co-teaching the flight school. I mean, she's a huge game changer behind the scenes and supporting all of like the strategic vision and the execution strategy for everything that I'm building around flight school. So she's teaching on Friday. Karen's going to teach next Tuesday. And then we have one final farewell session on next Friday with me and everybody, where we just seal the container. But it's wild. I mean, it was presenting my last deck, just like my last proper teaching session over these 6 months. A lot of hours in the program. I mean, it's super deep. It's funny that you're here and hanging. I mean, I was going to just talk about it anyways, but it's cool that you're here hanging, because I could just talk a little bit about it. But I mean, it's a really immersive experience. It's like 6 months, like dropping into a real deep ceremonial dojo. And the keys are part of it, and all of these other ways that we facilitate in different experiences to like expand and just like integrate and expand and integrate. Thanks so much, man. It's been a huge passion project, and it's wild to me how what started, what you were part of as just the 4-week journey, that was like the rough sketch prototype. And now, even with this 6-month program, one part of what I shared with everybody today is this whole broader vision of flight school, where even the flight school program, this like huge creative endeavor of what I put together over this past year, just like pouring, creativity into breathing to life this bigger thing, is still just like a drop in an entire ocean of a vision that keeps on opening up around building a massive ecosystem of support and novel facilitation around how we interface with bridging the gap of our inner work and journey in that space with how we're showing up in our work as a creator, as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as an executive, whatever it is. And it's just pouring out of me like floodgates, just pouring out. I mean, all of the stuff in my life is fuel to that creative endeavor, like the farming and parenting and everything else. Like, of course, that's so integral to me just bringing all of my insight and perspective in my medicine bag, and refining and honing that into being able to show up as the best I can in this space. It's like the fuel to it, but I could totally see a version of myself that didn't have any like parental farm partnership types of obligations, that with what has dropped into me, where I could totally see myself just going like super deep for a year and just like building, creating, like full on, full like startup mode level. And part of the journey that I've been really embracing is surrendering into that my life isn't set up for that, and it's not meant to be set up for that. Because there can be a huge temptation to just like go into that tunnel vision build mode and turn the lights off on everything else in our lives. And it's been, is waltz the right word? Probably a waltz. Doesn't feel like a samba, or doesn't feel like a salsa. Let's say like a very advanced waltz. Waltz to me is like something that is moving and flowing all across like the ballroom floor, and that to me, oh, I just had a reconnection blip. Hopefully I'm back. And waltz to me in like this vein is like from parenting and partnership and farm life and, building, and like temple and business and all of it's just like somehow it all gets done enough. And what I'm already finding now with the streaming is this is just like a whole new, this opens up a huge doorway for me to just be able to continue to put out like messages and share my work with people in a way that again doesn't have to come through the mechanism of a workshop or an in-person event or anything like that I can just come and hang every week. Because again, I as I've said before, and I'll say again, I truly believe that, and I shared this in the stream last week, and I'll share this again now because it just feels so relevant. I'll probably share it so many weeks. Richard spoke once where he was like, if you find yourself in a rut with something in your life, sometimes it's helpful to just go someplace public, like a cafe or a shopping mall or a space, some space that, maybe not a shopping mall, but like, maybe like a park, some space where you can be around the auric fields of other humans. Because if you kind of peel back the meat suit of yourself and you look at things like, you look at like charts, and you look at like the architecture of the keys and the charts, it's like at some level, like all of these like energetic architectures are moving through space. And when our auric fields come into contact, there's codes that are exchanged that exist in higher dimensions. And so sometimes simply by just going into like a cafe and hanging for a little while, the auric fields of the other people who are coming through there, carrying different archetypal codes, can touch in with your auric field and open up doorways and gateways around something that once felt like a locked door. And that's part of my intuition, inklings around doing a stream like this is that sometimes we just need to, outside of the realm of like showing up to a workshop or showing up to a retreat or showing up to like, a program, it's like showing up to the meditation cushion, which is important to show up to the practice and show up to the container. But we also need sometimes just the magic of life where unexpectedly you just like pop into, a cafe or something like that. And somebody just like gives you like a smile in a way that you really needed. And, the hope that the field, that like the energy field of this stream and this environment creates like a space for that for people. I love, Sean, that you've just been kind of walking around hanging, and whether that's just tuning in for, a few minutes like Matt Ruby did just for a moment there, or whether it's like just surfing the waves for the stream, it's like there's something even in my voice and the voices of people who are immersed in this work on this path, that there's like in the timbre and the frequency of what's transmitted, there's stuff in between, like in between the beats. It's like the spaces in between that stuff gets transmitted through the space and can help open you up into new insights about something that you're navigating. I would be euphoric if people tuned into a stream like this to just listen in, like go on a walk and just find that by just simply listening and being in the field with other people, that walk opens up. It takes you on a unique adventure and opens up perspectives for you on things that you're interfacing with. Just like if you've been immersed in a ceremonial setting, that quality of the synchronicity that is so mind-blowing. Maybe we can coax the transmission of that field a little bit more vividly in something like this. Why not? This to me is what I call the not just me, but it's just like a perception of I talk with Karen a lot about this, is it's the mutation of the ancient root stocks of these transmission streams. So if you take like a root stock of a transmission stream of something like, the Shipibo or, even the gene keys, like if you're hanging with me, what you're experiencing is, we're talking about gene keys and stuff, but you're experiencing a mutation of that transmission that's flowing through something that is completely unique through my channel. I mean, it's not even mine. It's just something that is uniquely flowing through me. When you immerse yourself in something like flight school, you're experiencing a mutation of the source territory of this transmission through an architecture that will meet people differently just by the way that I hold it and the way that I talk about it. Because let me tell you, going through a book, like picking up a book like this, it's dense. It is dense. It's not for the faint of heart. And especially if we're so overloaded right now and overstimulated with so much in our lives of just like, follow this thing, this technique, this, that. It's like my life's work key in the Gene Keys is a key called quintessence. Hold on, let me see if I can zoom in on it. Good old 23, quintessence. The gift of simplicity, the shadow of complexity. This is my life's work in the Gene Keys. And, man, I'm just like so happy to hear that. Sean, thanks for reflecting that. It's really like I'm looking for this stream to feel like an oasis where people can just like tune in. It's almost like you just like touch into the thread of the frequency field, and wherever you are tuning in, whatever's happening, it's like you just get linked up to this whole like quantum field, and that whatever's like there's just this like perfection of the design of what's shared, what's explored, what's navigated, just like the field of people who are participating that just hits in lock and key with something that you're navigating. And whether it's on the nose or it just again opens up like a sensory experience for you to meditatively tap in to what's going on for you. So complexity, simplicity, quintessence, that key, it's like one of the quintessential, no pun intended. I just use that word because it felt like the word, it's like when you define something and you use the word in the definition. um, Quintessence is like the essence within the essence within the essence. It's like the ability to just like say the one word that contains the whole entire thing. Like despondito, it just like after me sharing about it, it's like, that if I ever say the word despondito, you'll just know, like, it just contains the whole story. It contains the whole frame. It contains the laugh, the pun. It contains the depth and like all of that. That's quintessence. It's like, can you just like zoop, like bundle everything up into this like little needle in the haystack and just like, just hand that. It's like branding. It's packaging. It's like where if you look at a symbol, how it just, think about like the Nike symbol, for example, like the swoosh. It just, the symbol itself like communicates an entire energy, better and worse, Nike isn't necessarily our leading role model in many ways, but to just name the point, complexity is like lost in translation. This key has so much to do with throat and communication and how we're able to really like translate our inner universe and reach across the chasm and to meet somebody else as an audience and allow for it to land and be interpreted and digested. And so complexity is, to quote the book, it's like verbal diarrhea, and it's not called life's work for nothing. There will be a whole journey for me on the stream of really dialing in, like how to, keep making like what I'm sharing, like so simple, so inviting, so like, like my great journey with the keys is how can I take something like this and how can I deliver it in a way that's like so straightforward, so simple, so just like immediately, viscerally, like tactile and understood, without needing to get into so much of the jargon that, and this is, to me, it's like when you look at somebody like Steve Jobs or like Apple, I think one of the things that Apple has done exceptionally well, so much so that, they have their real titan presence that they do now in the world, is that they were able to really understand that, yes, there were going to be people who approached computers and really wanted to understand how to like program and use Linux and like do all of that stuff and have all of these abilities to add like multiple disks and floppy disks and all of these features. And I think Steve Jobs did, in the vein of the technology boom. I just watched a little video the other day it was like a little, meme or something. It was like the moment that like the BlackBerry executives knew that it was over for them. And it was when he was presenting the iPhone and he was talking about the keyboards on the BlackBerries, and BlackBerries had the universal like market dominance. They were considered they were the Goliath. And with no end in sight of that. But then, there's Steve talking about how the keyboard is just like when you're not using it, it's dead space. It's unusable real estate when you're not typing. And so Steve was like, well, what if we just make the phone a giant screen so the keyboard is only there when you need it. And it revolutionized the world. And that's where Apple, you go into Apple Store, beyond just the design and the sleek nature of the products, there's something that is like, so like, simplicity is like, genius is simplicity. Simplicity is genius. And so I have found in my work with the keys that, and with, and it comes through flight school as well, is like, how can we continue to make this work so approachable? Because again, everybody's so overloaded. Everybody's so overloaded in their lives. Like, there's so much going on. There's like global, like, on the precipice of like global war, like economic instability, cultural instability, everything. And then it's like, you want me to learn, you want me to learn this shit now? Like, and it's like, of course, there's a richness to going and like following the journey and devoting ourselves into advancing and leaning in and evolving and trying something new and seeing where it takes us. And I welcome and encourage anybody who's like bent on that. Some people ask me like, oh, like, do you like engage with, like, you love the Gene Keys, do you look at like human design or like Enneagram and all these other stuff? I'm like, oh, I don't have time for that. And I'm good. This is all I ever need. And at some point, maybe I don't even pick up the book anymore, because it's just, it's like, again, that mutation. It's like, it's not about, Richard will say it again and again. He's like, I shed a tear every time somebody comes and is just like bent up on their birth time. Like, it's not about that. This is just a way in. The chart is just a way in. And with flight school and, the way that I'm teaching and holding the keys in that space is like, it's a backbone, but it's not the meat. And we need a backbone. We need a bass line. Any song, it needs the drums, it needs a beat. But what makes the song goes beyond the beat. It's all the other layers involved. And so again, like my life's work, like transmuting complexity into simplicity into quintessence, it's like that word despondito. It's like, that's the quintessence. And those are drops. Like those are like drops and glimmers of to me, gold. And it's not a mental endeavor. Like, those things come through the interfacing with and the tending to and caring for the pain around that shadow of complexity. Because complexity is, to quote the book, it's verbal diarrhea. Just to weigh in, yeah. Complexity is verbal diarrhea. It is lost in translation. It is, wow, you said a lot of stuff. I have no clue what you're talking about. And I have suffered in my life ad nauseum with that experience. One time I described it to a dear friend in a rather dramatic way, but sometimes it is important to almost overly dramatize the metaphor of something that we're experiencing, because it helps us to like over-index on what it is, so that we can really like give it its full acknowledgement of how painful or frustrating it's been, so that way we can then just like release it. But that complexity and that lost in translation experience for me has felt like I shared. It was like, imagine you're in one of those like soundproof glass like boxes. It's like the thick glass, like soundproof walls. Imagine you're in like an entire like box of that, and you're like banging on the wall shouting, and somebody's right there on the other side. They're like, or maybe they don't even notice you. That's been my life. In many, many ways, that's been my life. And the only way out is through just interfacing again and again in many ways of putting myself out there and sharing and finding my way through the noise of the complexity into bringing in, more of that energy of the simplicity. It's why I even write my emails, my newsletter in the way I do. Because, if you read my newsletter, I intelligently design it, so specifically design it where it's like each line is just a few words and it's easily digestible. A lot goes into that. It's not AI created. Like a lot goes into like distilling the intonation, the pace, like the beat, the flow of each line, to take people on a journey that is hopefully insightful and hopefully also a little bit entertaining. And I think about writing a newsletter in more of a paragraph style form, and that's like terrifying to me now. Not that I couldn't do it, but it's like sometimes, all the proof that I need is like with what's happening right here on the stream. I've been sitting here for the last 30 minutes, maybe, since, I don't know, I was like riffing on some stuff with Matt, or I don't know, Sylvie stayed till 9. And, talked to me just a few years ago about just like speaking into a thinly populated virtual room like this. And it would be like stumbling over myself, like, what do I talk about or anything? And I'm just, I'm noticing already, this is my third stream. There's just it's like a trance in some ways that I get into that just feels like right and conversational and liberating. You're kind of getting a glimpse into my inner universe, my own process, my own way that I interface with life and navigate through life, and in my own journey that I'm on. And it feels so refreshing. Yeah, man, the verbal diarrhea, I relate strongly. The verbal diarrhea lately has been immediately overwhelmingly boring. Lately, your letter helped today. Despondito was perfect, brought the perfect touch of humor and light to it. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah. This journey, for anybody who's started to open up the door and follow the rabbit down the hole, very quickly your audience thins out across your life of people who can understand the language. You, first and foremost, become like the first threshold of being able to reckon with that inability to understand the language of like this whole new universe. that you're navigating. And, one by one, you find other friends and people on the path, and you start to build a whole new tribe. But there are like many, many, many dimensions. Speaking for myself, there's like a vast territory of things that I navigate regularly. That's like, I don't know how to translate this to anybody. I don't think that I ever could, and I don't think I'm supposed to. Because it's like, do you have the time to go and sit and understand like the entire replay of my entire life? Because that's the context that's needed for that piece. And so as we learn to really just hold that and say that, some things are just not meant to be understood by anybody else. They are just really meant for us, between us and our relationship with God in whatever form that appears for you. And yet, even if you can't articulate it through spoken word, that your energy articulates it in your presence with someone else. And you begin to relate with other people on the path in a different way, where it's like you don't have to actually exchange many words, because you just understand one another through what's unsaid. I met somebody last fall on this retreat. I went on this, I went on this retreat in a very different style of retreat. I went to Bali with a part of this program that I was part of over this last year, with those designed for creators and people building their platforms and strategizing, like building offerings and all of that stuff. Anyways, totally wasn't a retreat that was designed for any semblance of like inner work, which is not the territory, but there was somebody that I met on that trip who has become a friend and who is deeply immersed in men's work in a different way than I have seen across everything that I've seen. So much, and it struck me so much so that it was just like, by exchanging just a few words, it was like, this guy and I, we're going to be good friends. Like I could see myself collaborating with him. And it was just a knowing. It was like a mutual knowing, between he and I, in that just emerged through, again, the unspoken space, and a mutual acknowledgement that there's just like no need to even say anything around that. It's just like it's just resonance. You know it when you know it. You sense it when you sense it. And so, where was I? Complexity, I got to play with it a little bit too, because, as I say, it's not called life's work for nothing. Sometimes I will lose the thread, and that's how I deal with that. Says more than the event of losing the thread. Anyways. But I think it comes down to just this passion of mine of seeing how I can continue to take, something like this and really like distill it into, in not a way that actually eliminates anything, which which is important. It's not an exclusory process. It's alchemy. It is a reductionary process. It is a distillation of tapping into, like, and coming into contact with the essence. It's the transmutation of lead to gold. It's this refinement journey that allows for me to take more and more something like this and transmit it and deliver it through word, through presence, through style, through brand, through symbolism, through whatever it is, you name it, in a way that meets the audience receiver. In a digestible format, regardless of whether or not they ever need to know the word city, or know that there is such a thing as a shadow gift city. Because during these times, these days, we can all complain about what this has done to us in our attention span, and what the smartphone and social media and scrolling has done to our inability to really hold on to longer form content, because of just give me the quick hit, give me the little bit here or there, that at some level is turning our brains to mush. But I also see these things as there's the dual, there's the yes and. There's the shadow form of the bite-sized stuff is turning our brains to mush, but there's also the citic thing there. There's the citic expression that is, we're learning how to refine things more and more into just tapping into the essence. This is why memes are so powerful. Memes are so powerful that governments want to completely shut down and ban memes. Because memes cross through the language barrier. I can show somebody in Japan a meme, and without even understanding the same language, they can understand it. That's powerful. Meme warfare, meme wars, it's funny, but it's actually real. That's a distillation process. That is a quintessence journey. I'm going to show everybody my the first meme I ever created, which I'm very proud of. It's a humble meme. It's an honest meme. The classic bell curve. That sign, choose joy, during 2020, during COVID time. I'm living for a period after the primary lockdown period. I'm living in the basement of my parents' place. My parents live on a lake, and they have like a walkout basement that's sort of like a half apartment. And I'm living there with my new girlfriend, Karen, who I've known for just a few months. And as we're moving in, who's bringing like Tibetan singing bowls and crystals and stuff, something that has never been a part of my entire universe. Before then, my parents are like, who's this weird, who's this like weird girl that you're bringing to our house who's, living with us now. And downstairs there, they have from Pottery Barn this sign. It's almost like 4 feet by 4 feet. It's like bigger than you would think it should be. This wasn't like a tiny little wall ornament. This is like a big piece. Like my mom, I guess, at some point went to Pottery Barn and was like, we need that. We need a giant 4 foot by 4 foot piece that says on a white canvas, nothing, it just says choose joy, period. We're gonna put it up there. And I saw that and I was like, that is just like, it's just like that was the quintessence of my life of just like my angst. It just like doesn't matter what you're going through, just choose joy. Oh, you're going through something tough. Just have you tried choosing joy? Without using those words. It's like the classic, like, oh, well, like, did you know that there are like people starving in other parts of the world? Like, yes, and I'm miserable. It's like just that sort of energy. And I like kind of rebelled against that sign. I think while we were living down there, I even like turned it around because I was just so annoyed. And it was like right there. It was like every morning you woke up, it was like the first thing that you saw was just choose joy. I despised it. And then we go on this funny little journey of sound healing, sacred geometry, and medicine, and saging, learning our nervous system, and chanting the mantras. Oh yeah, the hape. I remember all that. Donning the mala beads. And now, right. It was right all along. Choose joy. Choose joy. Choose joy. And someone can really hear that and be like, easy for you to say. And then detail all of my privileges. But Pottery Barn was onto something, because I'll tell you, as the journey matures more and more for me, I find that it really just keeps coming back to this more and more. Now I'm starting to wonder whether I should ask them for it for like Christmas, and I'll just put it right there, right on the opposing wall behind the camera. I think that sign belongs to me. I'll let them enjoy it as long as they want to keep it. But I think that might be a nice studio edition. Keep me on track. In case I get off the course. Well, it's 10 o'clock. So, Sean, if that's you and you've been hanging here, thanks for hanging, brother. I'll catch up with you soon. I got your email. I'll respond to you. I just had a bunch of stuff going on today with teaching and getting ready for the stream, but I'll get back to you tomorrow. And looking forward to connecting and seeing you in a month too. For anybody who's tuned in or watches the replay, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Like and subscribe, share with a friend. Helps me out. Thanks, man. All right. I'll be back Thursday morning. I think, like I said, Avacheska's going to join me. And my friend Satya may also join me. Maybe Karen will join too. Who knows? We'll see. But in time, I'm going to keep finding more and more ways to just have people on. So Thursday morning's a different vibe, a different energy. It's a shorter stream. It's a morning stream. Less hangout, a little bit more workshop focused. So I'll see you there. Godspeed and good night.